Thanks everybody. Thanks for being here and thanks for having me. I'm very happy to talk about religious naturalism. It's something I feel deeply, and I'm hoping today that I can give you a sense of what makes it a little bit different from ordinary common variety naturalism. I joined in 2015, a year after the association was actually formed itself. My talk today will cover what's shown in this slide, but it's about what naturalism is, what it means to be religious without supernaturalism, and what a religious naturalist is. Let's begin with naturalism. I think probably a lot of people are familiar with the idea, and the main idea of naturalism is that only natural laws and forces, as opposed to supernatural ones, operate in the universe. And to some people that seems kind of stark and perhaps frightening, but religious naturalists are at home with that and have a special relationship, I think, with nature that allows us to get nourishment from nature. Let's see, yes, and with that we're talking about a belief that only natural laws, or physics, basically make everything happen. Chemistry and biology, of course, are derived from physics, so that's included, and the supernatural does not exist. Carl Sagan succinctly put it, he said, "The cosmos is all it is, or ever was, or ever will be." So he had a very firm thought in that line. But I would like to say that religious naturalists are not hard-line, exclusionary people. We have come to a non-theist view of the universe and our place in it, but we certainly recognize that there are other ways of looking at life, and we don't have the answer. We have an answer that works for us, and certainly welcome people with other ideas. So, naturalism. Another part of that, other than the exclusion of the supernatural, is that it has a central story about how things came to be the way they are. And the central story is the one that science has been revealing to us over the past years, of the Big Bang being the beginning of everything, and then the ensuing evolution of the cosmos, and then eventually the evolution of life on Earth. A very important part, and part that isn't often emphasized, is the idea of interdependence. We hear a lot of talk about interconnected things and how everything is interconnected, but the word interconnected doesn't, for me anyway, tell the whole story. For me, a better word is interdependence, because you can be connected and not really care about the thing you're connected to. But with interdependence, you care, because you depend on everything, and everything also depends on you. In human terms, that means we are dependent completely, no, well, not completely, but largely on the environment. And we haven't been recognizing that. And it supports us, it gives us life. So there's that dependence. The environment depends on us, as we know. Ecology is telling us that, we need to do a better job of being a partner in this thing called life. And this is one of the things that the religious naturalists are very adamant about. People exist not independently, but interdependently. And the truth be told, we can't exist independently. Nothing can. No life form can exist without support from their environment and from each other and from the other living things in the biosphere. So that's something we really like to focus on. Einstein was not a religious person, but he had a religious response to the things that he was finding out and discovering. He said, "If something is in me which can be called religious, then it is the unbounded admiration for the structure of the world so far as our science can reveal it." The structure of the world. He was talking about how it's all connected, how it's all one thing. His theories go deeply into that concept. So the religious part comes from response to nature. It's not a response to a God or special supernatural forces. It's to nature itself, the wonder and the awe of nature. The term religious, then, as it is used in religious naturalism, has to do with our response and our connection and our feeling of union with nature. And that nature, we are in nature, we are not outside it and separate from it. Our Western civilization for hundreds of years has been, well, propounding the idea that humans are separate, they're special, they're different, and nature is there for us to use. Francis Bacon famously talked about conquering nature in the Enlightenment period, and that couldn't be further from what we think should be our relationship to nature. We should be in an interdependent and mutually respectful relationship with nature. So the religious part of religious naturalism is a religious experience that individuals have of awe and wonder and caring and love. It tends to be a transcendent experience because when it happens, it's one of those things that you go, whoa, this is amazing, whatever it is, and it's beyond words. You don't think in words in those moments. So that's why we say it's transcendent. It transcends the description of things, and it is that immediate, full experience of being in nature, not looking at nature as a separate thing, but being part of it. The bullets here show what religious naturalism includes. It includes the natural sciences and the belief that everything happens according to natural law. It includes the story of evolution and of the cosmos and life. It includes the importance of interdependence and understanding what that means at a deep level. And of course, it includes the religious experiences that I've just talked about. It's I guess the experiences are sort of a non-verbal but physically felt phenomenon. When you have an experience of awe or wonder, you feel it. It's in your heart and in your body. And then there's a strong feeling of connection with nature, something grander than ourselves. It could be something, as I said, like awe or wonder, but it can also be felt in gratitude, joy, humility, and astonishment, as in other ways also. So what I've been trying to say, I guess, is that religious naturalism has something more to it than just ordinary naturalism. It has that personal experience and response, and what that means for us as human beings being in nature, not separate from it. The first two bullets up here, they could be applied to naturalism, the natural sciences, the evolution of cosmos and life, and sometimes they talk about connection, but for religious naturalists, interdependence is a very strong topic because it brings us into being part of nature and being one with nature. And then, of course, from that comes the response of wonder and awe and gratitude. I don't know how my time's going. Can anybody tell me? That sort of wraps up the religious naturalist orientation. There's not much more to say about it. If you're interested, there is a website. It's religious-naturalism- or naturalist-association.org. And I'll show you here. This is our website, which I'm responsible for, so I hope you like it. The actual association, which I can talk about a little bit if I still have some time, it's an organization that formed out of a conference that took place on an island called Star Island, which is off the coast of Maine, I believe it is. And people had been meeting there for several years and talking about, things that matter to them. It's a conference that was sponsored by the Institute for Religion in a Time of Science. People were wondering, how is science and religion, what's going to happen when people start to take both stories seriously and they're incompatible? So they wanted to know what could be done about that. And at one of these conferences, a lady named Ursula Goodenough, who happens now to be the president of Religious Naturalist Association. We call it RNA, by the way. It's supposed to be a pun. And Ursula is now the president, but in those days, this was prior to the formation in 2014, she and a few others talked about this, and she actually published a book called The Sacred Depths of Nature, and she used the term religious naturalism, and it suddenly got a boost. People started talking more and more about it. So they got serious, and one of the people that was in the discussions there on Star Island was a lawyer, and he put together all the papers to make it an official organization. And then about a year later, that's when I got into the picture. Our mission, our RNA mission, is to promote the naturalist view of life and the cosmos, the central story, the cosmic evolution and the evolution of life, connection, interdependent interbeing, which you may have heard that term before, and religious responses to the natural universe. Taking nature to heart is sort of our slogan, and we really feel that we are part of nature and it is part of us, and so it's in our hearts, it's in our bodies, in our cells, in our DNA. From that perspective, certain values fall out, sustainability being obvious. If you're part of something, you want it to be healthy and to keep it going. Adaptability, which is, a very important biological survival value. Diversity, inclusion, equity, respect, humility versus hubris, compassion, personal responsibility, and personal contribution. Those are the values that we espouse. The organizational part, this will be maybe a little amusing to see. This chart is by no means filled in. There are a lot of circles there with nobody in them. But the hub, the middle part, and some of the main outreach and inreach circles are filled. It's not a hierarchical organization. It's a, I don't know, mycelial, maybe? Might be the word for it. Interesting to you, maybe, is that there is a RNUU group in the works. They haven't solidified their sort of identity or who's going to be leading it, but it's in the works. And it's a community that has, well, it sort of dropped off for a while, but now there's a resurgence, there's new people involved, and we don't know where it's going to go, but there's a possibility there will be a RNUU chapter. So I hope I've given you a useful introduction to naturalism, religious naturalism, and the Religious Naturalist Association. If you're interested in exploring these things more depth, we have a web page that offers a place to start. We call it our gateway page, and there you can see the URL. Are we pretty much on time, you think?
Perfect. So,
Okay, good. Then I'll say thank you.
will you stay for the forum afterwards?
I will, yes.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks very much.
So we're going to set up now for a song that Terry wrote the lyrics for and collaborated with a fellow in Toronto. Do you want to introduce it a bit?
Sure.
We'll hear it.
Yeah, shall we move over?
We're going to set up.
Just take a moment to set things up. I'm just going to try to find the lyrics, because that would be helpful. Okay. Oh, good. There they are. This, as Dick mentioned, this is a song that I was involved in the writing of the lyrics. It came as the result of a request from a friend of mine, a musician friend who lives in Toronto, and he has been writing, well, I think they're fabulous songs for decades. It has very little recognition, but that doesn't mean they're not good. It just means that people, the right people, I suppose, haven't heard them. But he does have a steady following on Bandcamp. So if you're interested, go to Bandcamp and look for Martin Springer. He is the musician behind this song. The words, as a religious naturalist, I feel that people going to the supernatural are leaving their home in nature. That's what it feels like to me. They're grasping onto something that isn't as real and as embedded in our DNA as nature is. And that's where we can find our home, is in nature, not out in some other realm or, you know, I don't know what you call it, but it's something like that. So this is what this song is about. It's about a sailor lost on a heaving sea and trying to find his way home. And unfortunately, he takes the wrong turn and turns to the supernatural and is forever lost and leaving home. I just need a drink of water first. Okay, we ready? drifting, heaving, darkened seas. Waiting moon dims behind a slowly drifting cloud. A lone sailor keeping watch is praying to his sunken God for a sign to follow home, to follow home, to follow home. Jagged flash, lightning blinds his seeking eyes. Offering everlasting safety, respectful form appeared. Offering everlasting safety, relief from curiosity. Believing in salvation, the sailor shakes his hand, shakes his hand, shakes his hand. Missing ship, drifting heat, darkened seas. Waning moon dims behind a slowly drifting cloud. A lone sailor keeping watch, praying to his sunken God for a sign to follow home.